Women have made me who I am today. In fact, women continue to make me, and it all started very early in life. I have been very fortunate to have a good life. Mom and Dad started my beginnings in my hometown. They gave me the values. And when I think about every professional and personal step since then, I realize of the many significant people who have influenced me, they have all been women. Maybe many men can't say that. Maybe they don't want to, maybe they haven't been as fortunate. But for me, and what I want to share with you, is that this is how I can be the change, to talk about and celebrate the significant people in my life who have all been women. In 1981, I was 22 years old, and I was graduating from the United States Naval Academy and being commissioned an ensign in the Navy. And for 3 of my 4 years at the Academy, our company officer was Major Shelley Bliss Mayer, United States Marine Corps. I was in the second class at the Naval Academy to admit women. So early in my life, I was seeing the challenges with integration of women in the workplace, in this case, the United States Navy. And Major Mayer was the first female company officer in the history of the United States Naval Academy, over 130 some years. Major Mayer was tall, lanky, not effusive or gregarious, actually quite stoic, but always in control, and she had this incredible calm to her that was both inspiring and haunting at the same time. I didn't know it then, but knowing what you and I know today, as the first female company officer, I am sure she received a lot of pushback. I never saw it as a midshipman. I never witnessed it. I never heard her complain because that wasn't her take. But I'm sure she must have felt it. But to her credit, she was incredibly unflappable and always focused on what a leader should be doing, developing other leaders. Senior year, I was the company commander fall semester, and one of the privileges was to lead the company on the March on Ferry football game. It was December 1980, Army-Navy game in Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. We're in the tunnel assembling on that cold December day, dark skies, snow flurries, and we're about to march on my senior year. One of our classmates who left early came back, and we decided to put him in the middle of the formation with us. You could do fun things back then. And it was good. It was perfect. He had his uniform, his overcoat, his scarf, his hat, his gloves, everything. Right in the middle of the formation. Except one thing, he did have long hair and a full beard, which you couldn't have back then. And so on the field we march, Veterans Stadium, we salute the crowd, we do our about faces, we salute during the national anthem, and we're about to march off. And for our company, we are front and center of the color guard. And I'm looking forward as the company commander at the sideline, and the whole time, Major Shelley Bliss Mayer is staring back at me. It is not a good stare. It is not a, gee, Midshipman Giorgione, your company really looks sharp today. It is a stare of, I am so disappointed in you, and I will deal with you later. And as we march off, she walks by me very intently with security guard in tow to take our friend, now getting a personal escort, out of Veterans Stadium. And as she walks by, she doesn't say one word. I get the stare. I am so disappointed in you. That is leadership. But that's not the full story. Because she had this deep compassion and ability to balance everything about leadership. Because as she passes me with that stare, the most subtle, slightest smirk in the corner of her mouth, effectively telling me, you're still in trouble, but nice job. I learned leadership from Shelley Mayer this way. Drop the adjective. What do I mean by drop the adjective? Don't describe our leaders as, in this case, a great female officer, a great female CEO. Why is that important? Because to me, it subconsciously mitigates the person or the accomplishment, as if we don't expect much from you because you're the first female company officer at the Naval Academy, when she was exceptionally one of the best. Quit mitigating the person by the title. Don't focus on what they are, appreciate who they are. Shelley Mayer was a leader, period. I learned that from and about her. A year later, Michelle and I were married. I don't know why that's funny. I was 24, my wife Michelle was 20. 20 years old. What young woman leaves her hometown, gives up a career at that point, and decides to follow some Navy guy around the world, who knows where? But my wife Michelle decided to do that because she had this undeniable desire for adventure and travel and excitement. Michelle never judged other women. She did hold jobs as we moved around the world, but when we had our 2 daughters, she decided to stay home. But she was not one to show any bias or prejudice. She never judged other women. And what I learned from that, which influenced my career in leading people, was to not judge. Everyone has a different lot and desire in life. And I learned that from her. And she supported the career, the ups and downs, all the requirements, all the challenges with children and moving around the world. And she was a great friend to any spouse, male or female, family, friends, and the servicemen and women we probably served with. One of the biggest challenges for a Navy family is balance of work and life. Last October, I published my first book, Inside Camp David, The Private World of the Presidential Retreat. It's a Navy command. I was the commanding officer in 1999 to 2001, and my family is the only family that lives inside the retreat. And so while that sounds really neat, and it was, on weekends, when your guests are the presidents and their friends and neighbors, during the week, with 2 young daughters, 7 and 4, it's lonely. There's lots of challenges because you have no immediate neighbors. And Michelle was stuck in the middle, I will say, because she had the balance between her dad, her husband, and dad being the commanding officer, and her being mom and our 2 daughters. One summer day, the president was not at the camp. She was in the access lane approaching the security gates with the 2 girls in the back seat. It's a hot day, it's humid. Girls are whining, complaining. Michelle's getting impatient. And she decides on a whim to have a little fun. This is not a place you should have fun. So she unbuckles, opens her car door, runs out, and yells, "Fire drill," and runs around the car. And gets the 2 girls to do the same thing. So 2 young girls, 7 and 4, chasing, squealing with delightment and excitement, chasing their crazy mother and back into the car. Of course, I hear about this later. And that night, I'll be honest, after chastising Michelle a little bit, borrowing a page from Shelley Bliss Mayer, I said, "Hey, nice job." So Shelley Mayer made me early in my professional career. Michelle is still making me today after 35 years together. And our daughters, Brianna and Ryan, 26 and 23 years old, will make me into the future. Past, present, future. I know our daughters will grow up to be great citizens of this world. I am extremely confident they will always take care of each other and others. And what I learned from them today, professionally and personally, is that they value the who, not the what. They drop the adjective in everyday life, and I see it, and I'm inspired by it, and I'm thankful for it. And I'm just excited to no end to see what they become as they lead as people. Of course, they are my daughters and are not beyond the eye roll when I try to be witty. Or actually smarter than Mom, because Mom always says, "You're not going to wear that, are you?" They'll say, "Dad, don't wear that." That's leadership. I need direction. Past, present, future. I am fortunate to say I have very few regrets in life, but I do have a big one. And that is Shelley Mayer never got to know the impact she made on me early in my development, early in my life. She passed away in 2009, and the real pain of that is knowing we were actually in Southern California at the same time for several years. But I wasn't aware then or thankful as much as I am today, and I never had the chance to thank her personally. So my advice to you is this: for all men and women, be humble, be grateful, be thankful for your good life, and to be the change, make sure you reach out and you genuinely thank every woman who has made you.